seen some of the hills here. That's not the place you want to go. And it's just hairpins, 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 and slipping, slipping, slipping.
Kenya remains the birthplace of rallying in Africa. No other country boasts such a variation of terrain and challenging stages. The 2022 East African Mini Classic Rally reverted to the picturesque and sentimental safari routes in Western Kenya in a bid to offer competitors and spectators a taste of the old safari rally. Little did the competitors know that this was going to be arguably one of the toughest and one of the most dramatic events in the motorsport calendar. And if ever there was a perfect example of how fickle or cruel rallying can be, then the 2022 East African Mini Classic Rally was it. A day before the rally, the cars gathered at Sarova Woodlands in Nakuru for the pre-event technical check. When put side by side, the 31 cars entered are an impressive display of classic machinery. Following in the tradition of the early safari rallies, this event was open to cars built before 1985, as provided in FIA's Appendix K technical regulations. Fans eagerly waiting to see cars that actually belong in museums racing full throttle on open roads in remote areas of the Great Rift region. The presence of world-class champions brought much excitement. Among them was Phil Mills, the 2003 WRC winner, as co-driver to Petter Solberg. He was at the event to support the Kenyan crew of Steve and Russell Parkinson driving a Ford Escort that Phil's company built.
I think it came from Sweden originally as a road car, and we built it into a safari car. So it's a full spec RS 1800 Group 4 car with all the safari modifications that's allowed to do to it. So different roll cage events and things like that, and different dampers. Everything that's allowed under the safari regulations we have done to the car. But like I always say when we come here, we just want to finish trouble-free. If you can get through this rally without any problems, you've had a very good rally.
The Mini Classic attracted 7 international crews who came in to fight it out with the locals. But more importantly, the majority of the competitors were using the event as a dress rehearsal to the main East African Safari Classic Rally, which is slated to run from the 11th to the 18th of December 2023.
It is my first time to Africa, and it's been a childhood dream to come and do the Classic Rally. I'm hiring a Mark II Escort for this event because it was felt that I need to come here just to experience just what it's like. You can only watch so many videos and it doesn't really tell you. And then we're building a Mark I Escort to compete in the 2023 East African Safari.
Funnily enough, I met Malcolm, who lives in my hometown in Wales, and he said he wanted to come and do it, and he asked me if I'd come out with him. I thought I'd retired, but he managed to drag me out of retirement. And so no, we're out here for the adventure and see if we can get him round.
And we had to ask what their expectations are.
My expectations is my driver gets to the end.
For this event, just get to the end. that would be, honestly, I'd have the biggest smile on my face if I can go over the finish ramp. I don't mind where we come, it's seat time.
And keeping the safari tradition, the rally is run to a secret route. The route information is described in form of a road book, using detailed tulip diagrams, with one book issued the day preceding each leg of the rally. This is the 3rd edition of the Mini Classic Rally, which is a much shorter version of the mammoth 5,000-kilometre East African Safari Classic Rally. But make no mistake, the distances covered still offer the very best of treacherous rallying conditions. Excitement was high, and for the first time since 2005, almost 2 decades ago, the event was set to tackle many of the classic safari rally routes in and around the city of Eldoret, a hairpin wonderland to the motorsport world.
You know, the roads here are all uphills, lots of hairpins, going through valleys and hills and mud holes. So it's going to be a tough one in the sense that it's very technical. If you miss a corner, you will land 3,000 feet down or in the bank. Yeah, there is no room for mistakes.
The event will cover a total distance of approximately 1,000 kilometers, divided into 3 stages per day over 3 days. The entry list simply oozes quality and variety, with a mixture of former rally champions, classic rally veterans, and rally enthusiasts, both young and old. The top 10 was very similar to what one would expect on the main classic challenge. Baldev Chagar will be attempting a hat trick, having won the first mini classic in 2018 and the second in 2021. He is also the defending East African Safari Classic champion.
We kind of know where we're going, but I don't know what the road conditions like. Nobody's been on it. We're going to route open. CG, we'll see.
Carl Tundo, the 2017 East African Safari Classic Rally winner and 2021 African Rally champion, will be aiming for his first East African Mini Classic win. All his wins have been with Tim Jessup calling the notes.
It's always nice doing a classic rally, you know, the long stages. We've got a long way to go. Good rallying country, bit rough today, I think, so take it easy for today, see where we're faring, and then decide what to do the next days. But it's a long 3 days.
The sweet Cabras Porsche 911 of Baldev Chagar, navigated by Zimbabwean Gareth Dorr, led the now 30 starters from the ceremonial start at Sarova Woodlands, flagged off by the Deputy Governor of Nakuru County, David Kones. One by one, the drivers set out to tackle 9 stages over some of the most demanding terrains in Kenya. Also to assist in the flag-off ceremony was a very special guest to the organisers. 2-time World Rally champion and ex-Safari Rally winner, Mickey Biasson from Italy, who couldn't contain his excitement in being back in the country to witness the iconic mini classic.
The feeling, the spirit is the same of the 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So when the organization asked me to come back, for me has been a big pleasure, and I'm very happy to be here.
Day 1 saw the competitors head to the first stage of the rally, the Solai to Bogoria section, 32 kilometers away from the ceremonial start. The cars will compete over the 90-kilometer marathon stage, which had a mix of flat-out, rough, rocky and twisty sections going round Lake Bogoria. 12 Datsuns, 7 Ford Escorts, 5 Porsches, Volkswagen, Toyota, BMW, Triumph and a Mercedes-Benz were fired up for this event. The defending Mini Classic champion, Chagar, was not particularly happy about being seeded number 1 on the road. This meant clearing the roads for his rivals, which could make him lose time. All competitive sections are comprised of gravel roads, which are open to general traffic, from trucks, boda bodas, and other unique obstacles. He finished the stage with a benchmark time of 1 hour, 34 seconds at an average speed of 90 kilometers per hour.
Very tricky in some points, some things that should have been in the notes are not. Glad to be out of the first 80Ks. I think it was a good clean run, hopefully. Let's see the times of the rest. Let's get to the next stage now.
So, who was going to break the 1 hour barrier set by Baldev? The answer, Raymond Vos from the Netherlands. Navigated by Belgian Stefan Prevot, the crew made the best of their starting position from 7th place, clocking the fastest time in their Tutil Porsche 911. Finishing the 90-kilometer stage in 57 minutes and 18 seconds.
Woo! Very beautiful, very nice. It had everything in the stage. Was beautiful, up and down, long straight jumps. Good so far, but I need to take it easy to keep it in.
The Datsun 280Z sports car of Piers Dakin, co-driven by Tariq Malik, also lit up the tracks. He was quicker than Baldev and finished second, just 15 seconds behind Voss.
How was the stage for you?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, any issues?
I think I've bent something on the front though.
A surprising Raji Barrage, driving a Ford Escort Mach 1, which has a smaller engine than the big Porsches and the Z Datsuns, was third fastest. "40 seconds behind the leader Voss. With Baldev clocking the fourth fastest time, South African Jeff Bell in his familiar Datsun 280Z took a cautious approach, finishing fifth fastest.
We were very slow in that because of all the rough, so being careful.
Ian Duncan, 1994 WRC Safari Rally winner, pushed his minty motorsport Datsun 280Z to record the sixth fastest time. Toby Wright from Ireland, on his first ever mini classic rally, was seventh fastest, leading a pack of Ford Escorts of car number 8 of Jonathan Soman and father and son duo of Steve and Russell Parkinson, clocking the 8th and 9th fastest times. Rounding up the top 10 finishers was the crew of Romy Bamra and Jutli Harvey, who have been East African Safari Classic Rally regulars since 2007. However, the route had some casualties. It was a baptism of fire for the Belgian crew of Bart van Haverbeck and Arthur Vink, their first attempt at the Mini Classic. They were sidelined 60 kilometers from the start.
We had a problem with our rear axle and it broke, so we are stuck now and waiting for our service crew to come over and help us out.
Also, the youngest driver in the event, 23-year-old Rajveer Thethi, on his first ever Classic Challenge, was unable to finish the stage. Clutch pedal of the Datsun Violet 160J got stuck 46 kilometers into the stage. They were unable to go up the hills without damaging the gearbox, so they elected to stop.
Unfortunately, we couldn't finish stage 1, but definitely I had lots of fun. It's an interesting experience, something new to me. This is my first Classic event. Our whole point is just to enjoy the car.
However, the big news was that Kenya's speedster, Flash Tundo, got stuck in the stage with a broken arm, and by the time he got to his mechanics, he'd lost a lot of time.
It was going really well, and then 10 k's from the end, the front arm broke. We didn't hit anything, and maybe it had an old crack in it or something, but we're a bit confused. So strapped it up and came out, but we've hemorrhaged a lot of time.
Solai's stage had struck, forcing the 3 casualties to retire and rejoin the rally with penalties as per rally regulations. For Shakil Khan and his navigator Asad Mughal, commonly known as Dr. Bones, it was a never-say-die attitude. The rocky sections had broken their gear lever right in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, fine. You just have to change the gears for me. Let's go. We can change it like this. There's nothing stopping us from... I can drive like this.
Now I'll just clamp it with this. Give me a sec.
They improvised and were back on the road, fighting to get to the end of the stage with no gear lever. And it's the mixture of danger and speed that makes the Classic Rally one of driving's toughest challenges. They nursed their Ford Escort and finished in 16th place. At the end of Section 1, there was the much-deserved 30-minute roadside service at Marigat before the crews tackled the second section.
I kept that one high because the rim is damaged.
It started off really well. Nice wide roads, fairly quick at the beginning. And then we got into the hills. Lots of rocks, lots of hairpins, and then towards the end we hit a hole really hard and we've broken our right rear shock. So then we just had to take it pole-pole, and then we caught up with one of our friends and just sat in his dust coming slowly out. So all in all, it was a good stage.
We were really enjoying it. And then at about 70 kilometers, unfortunately, we had a puncture, so we had to stop. But otherwise, we're really enjoying the rally. The stages are fantastic.
Section 2 was the 39.2 kilometre Endau to Kibingor route in Baringo County. A fast section, up and down Endau hills, and no one knew what to expect. Ramon was looking to extend his lead. However, his Tuthill Porsche had some mechanical issues. After a few checks, his navigator signals they are suffering from a damaged shock absorber. Voss backed out and dropped his lead, finishing 7th position and was now 3rd overall. For Baldev, it was a nervous start and he was trying to make time on the second stage. But this short stage proved to be difficult for him. And what he thought was a quick right rear puncture fix turned out to be a bigger problem.
It's more than a puncture, no? Huh? It's more than a puncture. Arm is bent.
The undefeated Mini Classic champion was yet to make a mark in this event. Driving with a rear bent arm, he crawled out of the stage in a now unfamiliar 7th overall position. The question was, who was going to lead the rest of the field? The answer came in the form of Raji Barrage. Barrage had a trouble-free run and finished the stage in 28 minutes and 36 seconds.
The last stage went well. I think it went well. So yeah, small issue with the car right now, but the guys are working on it and hopefully we just get to the next stage on time.
Jeff Bell was keeping it neat and tidy. Even though his car was misfiring, he managed to score the 2nd fastest time and was now 3rd overall. Carl Tunde was excited to be back after fixing his car. He was 3rd fastest in the stage, but 25th overall due to the restarting penalties. The rest of the crews continued to fight for privileged positions, with Dakin still maintaining his 2nd overall position with the 4th fastest time. Ian Duncan setting the 5th fastest time on this stage. Toby Wright was the 2nd fastest Ford Escort, finishing the stage in 6th, and now 6th position overall. Rajay Semi appeared in the top 10 quickest cars, setting 8th fastest time on the stage. Slowly climbing up the ladder, he was 12th overall. Robert Calder, navigated by Gavin Lawrence, had a good run on this stage. They came in 9th. Jonathan Soman finished the stage with the 10th fastest time and was in 8th overall position. Romy Bamra, who was having an impressive run in his 280Z, now in 9th overall.
We've had a bit of a problem with the rear stop axle.
30 seconds, eh?
Yeah. Otherwise good.
Raising eyebrows was Rajesh Maini, the 3rd fastest Ford, keeping up with the big boys, and he was now 10th overall. Outside the top 10, Faraz Khan, navigated by his father Arshad Khan, were dealing with a misfire right from the start of the rally. They were now 11th overall. All the other competitors finished the shortest stage of the rally. The last and final section was another marathon stage of 79 kilometres, a safari rally classic in Eldama Ravine environs. This is the Sawas to Kip Sawas in the Tugun Hills, touching the lips of the Kayo Valley. The hills are known as Kenya's Swiss Alps and have an elevation of up to 3,000 metres. It's an iconic stage, known to be a car breaker, very rough, narrow, and with sharp drops. Baldev finally was back to his winning form and claimed his first stage win in a time of 1 hour, 11 minutes. Raji Barrage was in rhythm and secured 2nd fastest time, 49 seconds behind Baldev. The marathon master, Ian Duncan, navigated by Anthony Nielsen, was third fastest, but 2 minutes 37 seconds behind Baldev. Piers Dakin was fourth fastest. Remon Vos drove hard, but was unable to make up time. He was fifth fastest on this stage. Toby Wright was sixth fastest and led the same pack of Fords of the Parkinsons and Soman, setting the 7th and 8th fastest times respectively. However, Jeff Bell, who was doing well in the top 5, unfortunately was in trouble. He limped out of the stage with a damaged left rear wishbone arm, forcing him to retire and rejoin the rally with penalties. The Porsche of Galib Haji, navigated by Riaz Ismail, retired due to perennial engine problems. Carl Tundo's misfortunes continued. He broke a half shaft on this stage, putting out any hopes of making an impact on the rally. Hamza Anwar, unable to start due to scrutineering technicalities, left it to his dad, Asad Anwar, to keep the Anwar flag flying. Asad, in his Toyota Levin, was leading in the Class 1 category. These are classic cars with the smallest engine of up to and including 1600cc. Second in this class, and aiming to win the Coupe des Dames trophy, that's the award for the best female finisher, is South African female driver Lola Velak.
1974 Mark I Golf, a very popular car in South Africa in its day and I think worldwide. They used to call it the Rabbits. Stage 1 we had some overheating, so we lost quite a lot of time. Stage 3, they call it a road, but there was no chance of it being a road. 20 kilometers of uphill, loose rocks. So yeah, this is not the greatest car for power in first gear. Unfortunately, we can't keep up with the big guys in the Porsches and the Datsuns, but it's just as much fun and yeah, just not enjoying these hills today.
In the Class 2 category, cars up to and including 1800cc, Sam Karangatha, who was making his maiden appearance as a driver in the rally, was leading the class and in an impressive 14th overall position. A lifelong motorsports fan, Karangatha has graduated from being a spectator to a mechanic and eventually a driver.
It's been an amazing experience doing the classic for the first time with Minty Motorsports. Yeah, we had a fantastic day one. We kept to a good pace and we started to get a feel of the classic. We had a bit of everything, hoping that we can at least finish for today.
Second in the class is Nish Lakhani in his Minty Motorsport Datsun 1600 SSS. Nish Lakhani has been a regular contestant in the East African Classic Rallies since 2015. The all-female crew of Caroline Gatimu and Tuta Mionki, driving another 1970 Datsun 1600 SSS, dubbed Divas on Wheels, were also in the running for the Coupe des Dames trophy. They were third in this class.
First time in classic, awesome fun.
Yeah.
The first 90 was a bit crazy. You have to be on a high alert, but it was really nice. We lost it a bit somewhere on a corner, but we got it back, and it was really exciting. This other one was pretty cool.
After covering 210 kilometers of competitive mileage, the remaining 25 competitors checked into the last service of the day at Eldoret, a 2-hour stop where the mechanics worked on the cars to prepare them for the second day. And some of the top boys reflected on the day.
CS3 was just, I don't think I've done a harder stage in my life, ever. And I've done a few stages in my life. That was hard, yeah. Rough, endless, hairpins, climbs, drops, brows, it was everything, yeah.
So I think being the first day, quite good. You know, everyone's just setting their pace, finding their rhythm, seeing who's who in the zoo and doing the best they can. So yeah, we're good, we're happy. An achievement on its own to get to the end of today's stage because it was so rough. But yeah, we're just learning, learning together. I'm still new with Piers. Piers has a lot of experience. We've done the Nyanyuki rally together. So we're both sort of bouncing off each other, seeing where we can go faster.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard day.
So they're not such long stages, but they're very technical and difficult, and the last one was pretty rough in the beginning, so we're not going so quickly, but overall hopefully we'll get a good result.
Long, difficult day, I must say. Not the best for us, but yeah, good. The boys are going through the car now, and tomorrow is another long day. Let's see how it goes.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. No, it was a good day. It was a good day. It took a bit of time to get back into it. We hit something quite hard in section 1. Blew a rear shock in that section, so we slowed down a bit. And it was hard getting back into the rhythm we haven't driven really for 8 months.
People like me, we have been through these routes because this is my 49th year of navigating. This is classic rallying. We just have to keep the wheel moving, that's all.
And here is how the leaderboard looks after the first leg. Raji Barrage is in front with a 5-minute 32-second lead. Piers Dakin is still locked in second position despite encountering punctures. Raji's Minty Motorsport teammate Ian Duncan is third with 7 minutes 32 seconds behind the leader. Raymond Vos is still in the rearview mirror of the top local boys in fourth with an 8-minute 13 seconds gap to erase. Baldev has managed to climb 2 spots and is now in 5th position, but is still a whooping 11 minutes behind the leader. And to round up the top 10 position is the father and son duo of Fahaz and Arshad Khan in their ALS Porsche 911. Day 2, and the Mini Classic was flagged off by the Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Sports and the Arts, Honourable Ababu Namwamba. Assisted by the County Host Governor of Owasin Gishu, Jonathan Chemelil. One by one, the cars left Eka Hotel in Eldoret and headed to yet another challenge, the longest and toughest leg of the Mini Classic Rally. Section 4 was a 70-kilometre stage. Kapketoni to Kipsaos. This was a hilly stage up and down the Kapketoni and Tingwa hills, known to be rough and twisty. And with the overnight rainfall, the 70-kilometre Kapketoni stage was going to be a tough, wet race. The start list was changed, and it was Raji who was first on the road, followed by Piers Dakin and Ian Duncan.
In the Classic, anything can happen. There's still 6 stages, lots of kilometers, anything can happen. So everybody's still in with a shout. I just have to do my best and focus on my rally, not on anybody else.
Baldev was now 5th on the road, but had to pull a rabbit out of a hat to dethrone Raji.
The leaders are actually so far ahead, trying to catch 11 minutes on the leader. It's really quite impossible, and Raji is actually driving very well, so his peers. We'll see what we can do today.
And like a pack of wolves, the competitors attacked the stage. Jeff Bell was flying in this stage. He had rebuilt his car and clocked the fastest time, finishing in 1 hour and 3 minutes. Baldev continued to have a frustrating rally. Just a kilometre after the start, he missed a note and overshot a left corner. After being guided out by rally fans, he was on track. But his task to make up the time was made easier after his main rivals hit problems in the stage. He finished the stage second fastest, just 11 seconds behind Jeff Bell. Tundo was enjoying himself and racing without pressure. He was third quickest on this stage. Raymond Vos' wipers stopped working just when they were needed most, in the wet and rainy stage. He finished the stage in 4th position. Ian Duncan clocked the 5th fastest time. Dakin was in a rush. He'd lost a lot of time in the stage.
We went off on the same corner as Raji, but I managed to swing my car around, but I stopped to pull him out because it's only sporting to help the guy, and I'm sure he would have done the same. So I lost so much time in that one off. I'd managed to get myself out, and but then we put the tow rope on and pulled and eventually got out. So he dropped time, but it's in sporting conduct, shall we say.
He finished 6th fastest on the stage. Soman, Russell Parkinson and Rajay Semi followed in 7th, 8th and 9th fastest times. The Destro's family clocked the 10th fastest time, and Dad, Malcolm, was happy.
My novice is learning at an alarming speed. He's doing well. We're enjoying it.
Raji's hard luck on the stage cost him the lead. He was 14th fastest on this stage. With all this drama, Piers found himself in the lead, haunted by former safari runner Duncan, who was just 5 seconds behind. Remon, who has been phenomenal, moved up 1 position and was now in 3rd, just 20 seconds behind Dakin. And look at how things have turned out in favour of Baldev. He is now in 4th and 53 seconds away from pole position. For Barrage, tables turned, and in an instant he found himself trailing in 5th position, but just 1 minute and 23 seconds away.
Unfortunately, we got stuck. Piers got stuck. A big thank you to Piers. He helped us get out, so a big thank you to him for doing that. I mean, him and Tariq were fantastic. Really nice.
The Mini Classic was now wide open, and with the rain subsiding, it was anybody's guess who would win this event. The leaders then tackled the 80-kilometre plateau to Kip Kabas. The rugged landscape of Wasingishu Plateau has an elevation of 2,700 metres that gradually drops to 1,500 metres, a mixture of everything, from rough, rocky and slippery sections, not forgetting some river crossings. Chaga decided to be fast and furious. He had the right car and experience to dethrone any leader. And in rallying, when a driver sees dust ahead, the foot becomes heavier. He passes Voss, who had suffered a puncture on the stage. Later, he caught up with Duncan. And just before he overtook, Ian's front suspension broke, releasing the front wheel. Baldev was pushing his Porsche hard, balancing his pace between attacking and preserving the car. By the time he was finishing the stage, he had caught up with Barrage. Chaga won the section, bagging his 2nd stage win of the rally in an impressive time of 56 minutes and 2 seconds.
Thanks, buddy. Well done.
Jeff Bell was now getting confident. He pushed his Datsun 280Z and was 2nd fastest on this stage and in 6th position overall. In the fight, Piers was up to and over the limit to keep pressure on the leader. He stepped on the gas and finished 3 seconds behind Bell. Raji Barrage was also putting up a fight. He was dealing with an overheated suspension but was not relenting. He was 4th fastest and now 3rd overall, just 3 minutes and 25 seconds behind Baldev. Carl Tundo was enjoying himself, putting all his power down on the road and thrilling the crowd. He was 5th fastest in this section. At the end of the stage, Baldev had gained 3 positions, and as expected, he had dethroned the leader and was now in pole position, 1 minute and 41 seconds ahead of Dakin. Raji was climbing up the ladder in his Minty Motorsport Ford Escort and in 3rd position, 3 minutes 25 seconds away from Baldev. Voss dropped 1 position and was in 4th place, 7 minutes and 34 seconds behind Chaga. Meanwhile, Eric Bengi's rally sadly ended with retirement before the start of the race.
Day 1, engine broke 13 kilometers in transport. Second day, same thing. We are in a very unfamiliar territory. We are spectators and watching and supporting other teams.
In the Classic 3 category, cars up to and including 2000cc engines, Raji was leading by over 25 minutes. Jonathan Soman was second in this class and 5th overall. Shakil Khan and Dr. Bones were still in the running, 3rd in this class and 11th overall.
The first stage was quite slippy, so lots of mud. So we had to be very cautious, but we managed to come out without any issues.
Classics are nice because this is rallying. It's marathon stages, you break down, you fix, and that's, I think, the fun and pleasure of classic.
The family crew of Steve and Russell Parkinson were enjoying rallying together. They were 4th in this class and 12th overall.
This is my dad, known as the world's worst navigator. No, I joke, he did well on the last stage. We finally clicked, It's taken a while, but Dad's finally got his head round the nose.
I'll tell you what, his granddad is Bill Parkinson. He would have been very proud of him, I'll tell you that. Very proud of him. It was a brilliant day, really good fun, really, really good. There's nothing, honestly, there's nothing like doing that with your son. It's surreal.
Toby Wright, co-driven by Kenyan Douglas Rundgren, unfortunately found the going tough in Section 5, the second stage of the day. They unfortunately rolled and broke their rear windscreen, but were lucky to later restart with penalties. They finished 5th in the class and 19th overall. Malcolm Rich from Wales was also unable to finish Section 4, the first stage of the day. He was 6th in this class and 21st overall. The youngest driver in the field, Raj Veer, was pushing his Datsun 160J. 7th in the class and was the tail-end Charlie in 25th overall position. It was the end of the road for the crew of Rajesh Maini, navigated by Devon Bundia. They retired on Section 4, the first section of the day. In the Class 4 category, it was predominantly the Zeds, up to and including 3000cc engines. Pierce was leading the class in his 280Z, followed by Jeff Bell coming in 2nd in the class and 5th overall position. The Destros were now 3rd in the class and 9th overall.
Me and Dad are bouncing it off each other much better. I appreciate his driving and his patience, and he's appreciating my navigating, so we're both doing something right, it looks like.
Robert Calder's 280Z was the 3rd fastest Datsun and in 10th overall position.
The first part was slow, but we managed to get a good rhythm in the second half. We'll just take it easy. We'll just slowly try and climb the ladder a bit, and then tomorrow we'll push.
Ian Duncan, in another 280Z, was 4th in this class and 13th overall. And finally, Romy Bamra had received penalties and was 5th in this class and in 15th position. The final stage of day 2 was the Metcabe to Kipkatoni stage. This was pretty much the first stage of the day, but running in reverse.
Still a long way to go, so it's full of surprises, this event. So just trying to keep our focus and just do what we have to do.
Special guest Mickey Biasson was at the stage, keenly following the events, and shared his mini classic experience.
Big nostalgia. So has been very emotional for me to drive again in a stage here in Safari Rally. Really, when I was driving, I was thinking how much I was involved, how much I was loving this kind of competition. And each corner I said, well, maybe I have done this corner 30 years ago. So it has been a very beautiful experience for me to be back. I hope to be back next year, maybe driving or taking care about an Italian team to feel again the Safari Rally adventure.
So, it's a four-way battle between Piers, Raji, Ross and Baldev. Baldur's string of luck came to an abrupt end. He got a puncture, forcing him to surrender the lead to one of his rivals. Piers put the pedal to the metal. The Datsun 280Z is one of the cars he's built from scratch. He calls it his baby. So he was pushing it to the limits. However, it was Raymond Vos in his big Porsche who threw caution to the wind, clocking the fastest time, clinching his second stage win. It was clear that he's not backing off the fight for first place. Raji, again, stunned the top drivers. He drove hard and finished the stage, clocking the second fastest time. But was it enough for him to reclaim the lead?
Really a lot of fun. I drove the living out of this car. If I get beaten in here, then it can't be done. Man, we drove hard.
By the end of the day, it was an unbelievable nail-biting outcome. Raji Barrage had made a comeback and reclaimed his lead and was now in first overall position, just 7 seconds ahead of Dakin, who had also been on attack mode. Baldev Chaga's puncture dropped him to third overall, 32 seconds behind Barrage. Raymond Vos had been breathing down the necks of the top local drivers and protected his fourth position, still within striking range. With Ian Duncan out of the top 5, the rest of the crews moved up to privileged positions. In the Class 5 category, these are the biggest cars in the field, over 3,000 cc. Chaga was first, closely followed by Raymond in second. Rajesh Semi, navigated by Dr. Raj Jutli, started in on 15th place, and they were looking for a good result. Was the third fastest Porsche in 7th place overall.
That's a 1968. It was born as a Porsche Targa, and we converted it into a coupe. We've got a lot of spare parts from the Tatil team. It's one of the 2 Kenyan-built Porsche rally cars, and we're looking forward to having a good finish on this event.
Fahaz Khan was enjoying his dad's company. They were still having misfire issues, but managed to finish the day in 4th in the class and 8th overall.
We're lucky enough to do it together, When we were kids and Dad used to do it, we used to be following him everywhere. So it becomes a part of you.
3 times Kenya National Rally Champion and 2006 Safari Rally winner Azar Anwar, navigated by Jansher Sandhu, were competing in a standard BMW.
It's a very unique car. Our wheels are standard at the moment, brakes are standard. So, little by little we want to improve it, and hopefully get nearer to the top. At the moment we are way behind.
He was 5th in the class and 13th overall. Carl Tundo, in his Triumph V8, was 6th in this class and 16th overall. Finally, the big Mercedes of Bart van Haverbeck was still in the race, despite losing power steering and brakes.
My father was a Merc driver, so why not a Merc? All the rest are Porsches or Ford or Escorts. We drive a Merc. It's the first time that I come here in Africa, and for me it's all new. Thus, it was spectacular. It's really spectacular. The long distance that we make here on the specials are fabulous.
A total of 25 cars made it to the end of the second day, and the unsung heroes worked to rebuild the cars for the last day of the rally.
Enjoyed all the stages today. The last stage, unfortunately, we got a puncture, but because I'm so fit, we changed it very quickly, and we enjoyed the rest of the stage.
We had a good stage time on the last one, so that's brought us back into contention, which is nice. Looking forward to tomorrow, but that was a very, very hard day, I think, for everybody.
Later that evening, 5 crews suffered penalties from the rally stewards for not keeping to the right route. Raji Barrage was one of them. He received a 5-minute penalty for taking a bridge instead of the river crossing in the competitive Section 4. Raji slumped to 4th overall, complicating his chances to win his first ever mini classic.
It looks like the organizers want to keep this a safari rally, which means tough. So we are expecting it to be tough again today.
We've driven the car in reverse, forward gear, all sorts of gear to try and get it up the hills. That has been an exciting challenge. We hope that we'll be able to bring it to the end at the end of today.
The third and final leg of the rally started at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and the 25 remaining crews headed straight to the first section of the day. 66 kilometers Kipsauas to Muscat, a new route around the Elgao Marakwet escarpment down the Carrillo Valley. With all the drama after a torrid race on day 2, let's have a quick look at how the leaderboard looks. Piers Dakin has again inherited the lead, 25 seconds separating him from the undefeated Mini Classic champion Baldev. Remon Vos is in third, 3 minutes 31 seconds from the leader. The latest turn of events dropped Barrage to 4th, with a 4-minute 52-second gap. So with only 3 stages remaining, it was going to be a nerve-wracking finale. Piers came out swinging and was driving like a madman. He was second fastest on this stage. Vos, who has been shining in this rally, was the fastest on this stage, his third stage win. An astonishing 1 minute 4 seconds faster than Dakin. Baldev was not catching Dakin or Vos. He was third fastest. The Parkinson's family also came out swinging. Foot on the pedal, they were 4th fastest. Jonathan Soman was 5th. Pushing his Ford Escort and catching up with the front runners, he was fighting for 5th position. Rajay Semi was quickly climbing up the ladder. He clocked up the 6th fastest time. Malcolm Rich appeared for the first time in the top 10, recording the 8th fastest time. Jeff Bell, who has been excitingly fast, strangely set the 9th fastest time in this stage. The big upset of the stage was Raji Barrage. He had another major setback.
Unfortunately, very early on in the stage, maybe about 3 k's in, we slid into a bank and the car the diff got beached onto the bank. So it was completely stuck, wheels were just spinning. We lost about 10 minutes trying to get it out. Jeff Bell helped us tow it out with a lot of difficulty. And after that, we just but drove it flat out to the finish. But with where we stand now, it's just a matter of bringing it home.
With the finishing line almost in sight, Raji Barrage has thrown in the towel, and the 3 remaining warriors were current leader Piers Dakin, who added an extra minute to his overall lead time, Baldev Chugger in second, and Remon Vos, whose intentions were clear, is in third place. The penultimate stage, the 58-kilometre Singore to Chebiamit, up and down the Cherangani hills, retracing some old safari routes. First on the road is normally a disadvantage, but Piers Dakin was clearly in the zone. His excellent pace on gravel was his last chance to make any significant change. Dakin finished with the 2nd fastest time, but the organisers noted that he had deviated from the route.
How much time do you think you've lost on it? Well, when you don't know where you're going, I mean, it's complete guesswork, isn't it?
Baldev decided to take a fast and furious approach. With the championship on the line, it was a mad dash to the finish. These were surely nerve-wracking moments. One error, and it could all be over. Then the unthinkable happened. Baldev and his navigator Gareth missed a note and were lost. And even worse, driving on the wrong route. Baldev finished fastest on the stage, but the damage was done. Now it was time for Remon Vos to take advantage. Vos has been dangerous behind the wheel of the Tuthill Porsche 911. And his comeback has been quite an effort, winning 3 stages of the rally. However, he took a cautious approach and finished the stage with the 4th fastest time behind Jeff Bell, who was 3rd. Surprisingly, the leaderboard remained the same. Piers Dakin was leading with 1 minute and 28 seconds. Baldev had only managed to shave off 4 seconds. He was still in 2nd place. Remon Vos was 3 minutes and 58 seconds behind. The final stage was the Cap Sawar to Chibara Dam, a familiar route to the local boys as it's been used in the National Rally Championships. Now it was the final showdown. With under 4 minutes separating the top 3, it was a case of staying on the road and keeping a cool head. Jeff Bell was the quickest in the final stage.
Bell, final stage, congratulations, how was it?
Oh, that was good fun. Yeah, very nice.
Baldev finished the stage 2nd fastest. Dakin followed a few seconds after.
You think you've done enough on the stage?
No.
Have you think you've done enough to win it?
For Remon, it was tough luck. He lost a lot of time in the final stage.
2 punctures, we hit this big stone, was not good, unfortunately.
Raji pushed his Ford Escort and crawled to the finish line.
Quickly! Raji, what happened? Something doesn't...
Rear left puncture.
For the rest of the competitors, it was also a mad dash to the finish.
Just look at that.
Oh, it feels awesome! Just take it home! Nice. Dish, how's that last stage?
Oh, it was very rough in the beginning, but the best part of the rally was the last 20 kilometers. Fantastic, really rally roads, and this is the first time we've actually opened her up and enjoyed it.
After the last stage, this is what the leaderboard looks like. Baldev finished the rally on top of the leaderboard. Piers Dakin was 2nd, 2 minutes and 8 seconds behind Baldev. Vos fought to the end despite the punctures and maintained his much-desired podium finish.
We went in with a bit ahead of the number 4, so we were comfortable. Number 3 position we fought. And then we were told that number 1 and number 2 had an issue on the 2nd stage. They missed something there.
so there might be penalties or whatever. So we had a bit of a mixed feeling whether to go conservative on the third or whether to attack. It's really unpredictable, and that means it's really exciting and competitive till the end, which is good and which is how it should be. And yeah, roller coaster, very nice, beautiful landscape, beautiful country. We had a great time. It's good to spend time with Stefan and with the guys from Tot Hill. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
But Baldev and Dakin's results had to be verified by the rally stewards after the Section 8 meltdown.
I don't know whether we're in a GPS shadow close to that valley. Both of our GPS has stopped working on our trip meter, so we had no distance calculation. So it's almost impossible to navigate in a situation like that when you've got no distance.
There was a bit of an issue in stage 2 for us today and for Piers, so it's going to be won or lost in the office. So let's find out. That's all I can say at the moment. There's nothing more I can, honestly.
The Fat Lady of Eldoret has sung. Vos, navigated by Stefan Prevot, was elevated from his third place to finish in the top spot. Raymond Vos is the 2022 East African Safari Mini Classic champion. The Tatil team was ecstatic. Raji Barrage and Ravi Soni were over the moon to take over second place overall. Finally, South African Jeff Bell was delighted to receive the third place honour. Only 24 cars finished the 2022 Mini Classic Rally, making every result a victory. In the Classic 1 class, Asad Anwar, co-driven by Rob Warmasham, led from day one and finished 12th overall. Daughter and father crew of Lola and Edward Verlac were second in this class and brought their tiny VW home. In the Classic 2 category, the crew of Sam Karangatha and Steve Nyori won the class and finished 19th overall. Nish Lakani came second in this class and 20th overall. Caroline Gatimu and Tuta Mionki, Divas on Wheels, were third in this class and 22nd overall. They also clinched the 2022 Mini Classic Coupe de Dame trophy. In the Classic 3 category, Raji Barrage was the runaway winner. Jonathan Somans second, the Parkinsons, Steve and Russell, third. Shakil, Tob, Malcolm and young Rajveer followed respectively.
It's everything I wanted it to be. I wanted to do this from a child, and I've just done it. I've got a big smile on my face.
In the Classic 4 category, Jeff Bell claimed this class, ahead of Robert Calder and Malcolm Destro. In the Classic 5, Raymond Vos wins this category and bags his first ever rally win. Victory in this rally is probably the greatest feeling in any motoring event in the world. What a rally this has been. The action, suspense and surprises making great entertainment for all rally enthusiasts. The Mini Classic has not lost its appeal. Whatever the distance, it's arguably one of the world's toughest rallies. And all this was made possible through the East African Safari Limited, the organisers of the event, with generous sponsors who continue to support the East African Safari Classic Rally, thus contributing to the growth and development of classic rallying in Kenya. The next round of the Classic Challenge is the mother of all rallies, the East African Safari Classic Rally, which will be in December 2023. Twende Classic. See you there.